Hello and welcome to the Genuine Learning blog. My name is Melissa Galasso and I am super excited to be here with you today to celebrate blog number 200. I don't remember when we started this blog, but clearly we have been actively providing updates in the ANA world for quite some time, and I'm delighted to be able to share that with you guys today. Our topic today is not as exciting as being blog 200, but it is very important, and it is a series of conforming amendments by the Professional Ethics Executive Committee. This is needed as a result of some of the work that they've done on a previous interpretation and having to conform other sections of the Code of Professional Ethics, and so the Code of Professional Conduct. And so as we look at this was issued on June 3rd with comments due July 5th. Again, these are conforming amendments. We don't expect a lot of excitement over them. Again, much needed. But back a couple months ago, the Professional Ethics Executive Committee revised some of the requirements around loans, acquisitions, and other transactions in order to update the threshold, which defines when we have a threat related to ownership interests. However, as a result of that, there are other, parts of the code that make reference to the same threshold. And so they wanted to be consistent throughout the code. And so we're making some conforming amendments here. So we're going to have some changes related to accepting gifts and entertainment, as well as the conceptual framework when we get to some of these definitions. So one of the things obviously here when we look at this is that the phrase an officer or director of an attest client or an individual owning 10% or more of the attest client's outstanding securities or other ownership interests, so again, a bright line, is now referred to as an officer or director of an attest client with the ability to affect decision-making and any individual beneficial ownership known through reasonable inquiry that gives the individual significant influence over the attest client. And they believe this threshold better reflects the threats related to independence. And so again, in this scenario, we're going to be removing that 10% threshold. And so where did we have to make changes? Well, in 1.120.010, as well as again, another one on accepting gifts or entertainment in 1.285.010. And then the conceptual framework for members in public practice. Again, this one's really related to the definitions and what threats are out there. And so again, they're removing that 10% ownership and going again, the beneficial interest known through reasonable inquiry that give that significant influence. So not a huge change, but an important one because it then removes that bright line and really focuses on the threat and the influence that that entity has. So the proposed effective date for this would be December 31st of this year, with the reason being it's going to align with the already issued loans and acquisition standard or interpretation that's already gone out. And so that's one of the key elements there is to make things a little bit more consistent and do all of this updating at the same time. And so again, they are interested in our feedback as to whether that is an operable item, obviously given that we're more than halfway through the year by the time these comments come in. The one thing I did want to point out was their other big question in there. A lot of times the AICPA doesn't just ask for feedback on the changes, they have other questions as well. And one of the questions that they asked are there other interpretations or guidance in the code with thresholds that should be updated to better reflect where the threats exist? And so if you're aware of something else that maybe is too bright line that could benefit from a little bit of a refresh, they're looking for that feedback in addition to just making sure that we're okay with this more general change. So that's it. Again, not a super big change for our 200th blog, but again, an important change for consistency purposes. It is wrapping up the month of June, and so we are excited to be taking our annual 2 weeks off. Each year, GLS closes for 2 weeks in the summer and 2 weeks in December in order to give our people time to reflect, refresh, spend some time with their families. And so we will be embarking on that. And so you may not hear from us for a little while, but know that we are still thinking of you, maybe not as much as we normally do. So we'll be back in touch when we get back from our wonderful vacations and time with family. And so we want to wish you all the best, and we look forward to seeing you on a future blog. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.